Mortgages are often sold as the cornerstone of the American dream, buying a house, building a future. But they're also the fine print we sometimes overlook. At their core, these payments are split into two, principal and interest, but here's the kicker. Banks love loading interest payments up front. Imagine this. You're paying thousands each month, yet only a small fraction chips away at what you owe. It's like ordering a double cheeseburger and being served just the pickles while the chef takes the meat. Over the first 20 years, most people pay more in interest than in principal, leaving them questioning, am I ever going to own this house outright? With a system so weighted in the bank's favor, isn't it time to ask, how can we flip the script and get more than just the pickles? Let's dive into one of the most debated financial dilemmas in America: pay off a mortgage or invest that extra cash. The stock market, with its tempting historical average return of 10%, beckons as the ultimate choice for smart money. Meanwhile, mortgages, often carrying interest rates as low as 3%, seem like cheap debt, too cheap to prioritize over investing. But here's where the conversation gets interesting: peace of mind. For some, freedom from monthly payments is priceless. It's about finally owning the roof over your head without anyone holding the strings. Others scoff at leaving potential stock gains on the table, especially when compounding returns can work like a financial rocket ship. The real question becomes this: how do you weigh the thrill of growing wealth against the security of being debt-free? Americans stand sharply divided when it comes to tackling their finances. On one side are those who attack their mortgage with vengeance, channeling every spare dollar into early payments and reveling in the sweet words debt-free. For them, it's not just about numbers. It's about control and certainty, knowing no bank has a claim on their home. On the other side are the strategists, scoffing at the idea of prioritizing low-interest debt when that money could snowball in an S&P 500 index fund or compound in a 401k. But this battle isn't just about spreadsheets. It's emotional too. It's stress versus ambition, fear versus confidence. So, what weighs heavier? The relief of burning your mortgage papers or the satisfaction of watching your investments thrive? When it comes to strategies, Americans have found some truly creative ways to tackle their mortgages. One popular method? Bi-weekly payments. By splitting a monthly payment in half and paying every 2 weeks, folks sneak in an extra payment each year, saving years off their loan term and thousands in interest. Others take a different approach, using tax refunds, bonuses, or even small windfalls to chip away at the principal. One person proudly shared how they shaved 6 years off their mortgage by adding just $200 a month. It's like finding a cheat code in a game, except the prize isn't coins, it's financial freedom. But here's the question: is the thrill of beating the system worth the sacrifices, or do these small wins still leave you playing by the bank's rules? Then there's the camp that prioritizes investing, arguing that their dollars can work harder elsewhere. With mortgage rates as low as 2 to 3%, some see no reason to overpay when those same funds could generate higher returns in the market. Index funds, high-yield savings accounts, and real estate are just a few of the tools these savvy planners swear by. One person revealed they're growing a brokerage account with the goal of paying off their mortgage in one big lump sum years from now. Bold? Definitely, but not without risk. What happens when the market dips or your high-yield savings suddenly isn't so high? The gamble may pay off, but is it worth the sleepless nights wondering if you made the right call? For many, emotions often outweigh math when it comes to finances. Paying off a mortgage early feels like a declaration of independence, a break from the stress of monthly bills and the what-ifs of life. One commenter called it a weight lifted, while another described it as the key to true freedom. But not everyone agrees. Others argue that debt is just a tool, a stepping stone to bigger goals like investing, building wealth, or funding retirement. And then there's the fear. What if job loss or unexpected expenses derail even the best laid plans? The truth is, this choice isn't just about logic. It's about how much risk you're willing to carry and how you define security. So, what matters more, peace of mind or playing the long game? Interest rates play a huge role in the decision-making process for most Americans. If you locked in a low mortgage rate, say 2% or 3%, it feels almost like free money. Why rush to pay that off when the money could be earning you a much higher return in the market? For these homeowners, it's a no-brainer to leave the mortgage intact while they grow their wealth elsewhere. But for those stuck with higher rates, 6% or 7%, the story changes dramatically. At that point, paying off the mortgage feels like a race against time. The more you owe, the more you're paying in interest, and that's something nobody wants to drag out longer than necessary. So, when does it make sense to pay off your mortgage fast, and when should you just let the market do its thing? many Americans combine strategies, balancing both early mortgage payments and investments. This approach lets them enjoy the best of both worlds. The peace of mind from reducing debt while still benefiting from the growth of their investments. One person mentioned they're contributing 10% of their paycheck to a brokerage account while still making extra payments on their mortgage, creating a balanced portfolio of security and growth. Others get even more creative, using lump sum payments from tax returns or bonuses to pay down the principal faster, all while keeping a steady eye on their investment growth. But here's the catch. Is this truly a balanced approach, or is it just the best of both worlds until the next financial bump in the road? Tax benefits often get overlooked in these debates, but they can influence a lot of decisions, especially when it comes to mortgage interest. In some cases, the interest paid on a mortgage is tax deductible, which can make higher mortgage rates feel less painful. One commenter pointed out that on a 6% mortgage, the actual cost might be lower if you're getting tax breaks. But let's be honest, this benefit tends to lose its power when interest rates drop and the potential for investing rises. As mortgages become cheaper, the argument for keeping them around just to get tax deductions starts to feel weaker. So, is holding onto a mortgage just for tax reasons a smart move? Or are there better ways to leverage your money when interest rates are this low? At the end of the day, it all boils down to your personal goals and what you value most. For some, the thought of a mortgage-free home is worth more than any financial strategy. It's not just about numbers. It's about the peace of mind that comes from knowing you own your home outright. No more monthly payments. No more feeling like the bank is still holding the deed. For others, the dream of growing wealth through investments is too good to pass up. They're willing to risk it, knowing that by keeping their mortgage and letting their money work for them, they'll come out ahead in the long run. But where's the tipping point? When does the pursuit of financial freedom outweigh the security of a paid-off home? The most interesting thing about this entire debate is that there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Some people are perfectly content with a slow and steady approach, paying off their mortgage while investing in retirement accounts and other assets. Others, though, are all about the big wins, whether that's aggressively tackling the mortgage or putting everything into high-risk, high-reward investments. The true key to this financial puzzle is balance. It's about finding the right mix of debt, savings, and investments that aligns with your unique situation. So, the question becomes, are you playing it safe with your mortgage, or are you looking for the fast track to wealth, hoping that your investments will carry you to the finish line? There's a deeper emotional element that's often forgotten in these conversations, the way money decisions shape our lives. Paying off a mortgage early isn't just about getting rid of debt, it's about freedom. For many Americans, it's an emotional victory, a sense of accomplishment that can't be matched by any stock market return. But on the flip side, there's the satisfaction of seeing your investments grow and your net worth increase, knowing that your money is working harder than you ever could. The tension between these two forces, security and risk, shapes how we approach financial decisions. In the end, is the real win in life about being debt-free? Or is it in the chase for a better financial future? One factor that often sways people's decision to pay off their mortgage early is the desire for financial independence, something that's deeply ingrained in American culture. The idea of owning your home free and clear, without owing a penny to anyone, resonates with the very core of what it means to be self-sufficient. This idea of freedom from debt is especially appealing to those who've worked hard, saved, and now want to enjoy the fruits of their labor without the constant weight of a mortgage looming overhead. But here's the real question. Do we really have to choose between freedom and financial growth? Is there a way to find both without sacrificing one for the other? As we wrap up, it's clear that there's no right or wrong answer here, just different paths to the same goal, financial security. Whether you choose to tackle that mortgage head-on or let your investments do the heavy lifting, both choices are valid, and they both come with their own set of rewards and risks. The key is to know your own priorities, your tolerance for risk, and how you define financial freedom. For some, it's about getting to the point where they can stand tall without any debt. For others, it's about building wealth and watching their money multiply. So, which path will you take? Will it be the safe, secure route to debt freedom, or the fast-paced journey toward investment success?